be Bitcoin. Isn't it complicated?
पता है फुटबॉल इतना पॉपुलर क्यों है? क्योंकि कोई भी खेल सकता है. Buying Bitcoin is as simple.
Seriously?
Yes. All you need is WazirX, India का Bitcoin exchange.
Here's a secret. You can pay your credit card bills on Cred and earn Cred coins. Use them to claim cashback and rewards. Here's another secret.
Jackie loves Zumba. There you go.
Here's what you spent last month.
Christian Eriksen jersey, obviously the focus of attention. Christian Eriksen has to be the focus of attention. See the captains over there, Parken Stadium in Copenhagen, the venue for Denmark versus Belgium, backed by home support. If Denmark manage to pull off an unlikely upset, we will see all four teams tied on 3 points each. Prediction.
I like to get my predictions right, but obviously I'm going to go for the Belgium win on this one, 2-0.
Belgium to win 2-1.
Quite a few things will be clear at the end of the 90 minutes. Will Belgium be on top and almost secure their place in the knockout stage? Or will Denmark, on this emotional night, make it one to remember? The first half in the company of Steve Banyard and Tony Dorigo.
What a talent. Players taking the knee as part of their message against any form of discrimination. Ready to rise again after Denmark's darkest day. No matter they lost the opener against Finland. The only thing that matters here today is that Christian Eriksen is on the mend.
And very early on, Vass there with studs up. Certainly on the front foot, Denmark. The noise in this stadium is quite incredible.
It's a night laden with emotion, overflowing with positive energy. Unsurprisingly, a tangible sense of relief, of celebration in Copenhagen this evening. I think what's been uplifting and inspiring has been how the game, how football has rallied round. There's been this outpouring of support. There's been a realignment of everyone's perspective. Denmark here on the front foot early on, and Brathwaite chasing. Flag goes up.
Just went a little too early, but good play from Denmark. Just trying to get the ball in behind Belgium nice and early, get them turned.
We were wondering about who would play up through the middle. Poulsen it is for Denmark. Damsgaard, who is a more left-sided player, given away here to Højbjerg. And Poulsen is in! Poulsen scores! What a start for Denmark! An outpouring of emotion as the Danish recovery begins. Out of 10.
The pass was a poor one. Højbjerg picked it up. Perfect timing of the pass then to Poulsen. And didn't make any mistake whatsoever. Good first touch. Second one's through the legs of the defender as well, into the bottom corner. And then the roof stadium just got taken off. What a noise it was when this goal went in. Good finish from Poulsen.
Christian Eriksen's hospital room is so close. Well, apparently he can probably see, he can certainly hear the stadium from there. Kasper Humer, the Denmark coach, actually saying in the press conference yesterday he's probably wearing his match shirt. And here's a chance straight away at the other end with Dries Mertens. Well, you and I, Tony, were talking about what type of mood, what type of atmosphere it would be. We have our answer. It's positive, it's exuberant. It is full of celebration.
And certainly full of energy from both sides right at the start. The goal, of course, for Denmark. And then Belgium coming back there. Mertens just with a little touch. And that could have been the equaliser, but it really has been a good start. Let's see, can Belgium force their way back into this game now?
Forward by Daniel Vass. Up for this, no question. Højbjerg. In comes Joachim Mæhle, player who played with Genk in Belgium. Mæhle twisting, turning, still going! Belgium's defence looking a little rattled early on. Now Damsgaard tracked all the way. Oh, still found a ball in for Braithwaite.
He tried a clever flick. Good play, wasn't it, from Mæhle originally. When the ball does come back out, Belgium again give the ball away. Denmark so good at winning the ball back. Everyone on the front foot, high energy. Courtois to the rescue.
Team that's been taking just one day at a time. Not just playing for Christian Eriksen, playing for everything they stand for. Damsgaard to Mæhle. Poulsen and Braithwaite in the middle here for Denmark. Behind them is Vass!
Just needed a bit more on that header. But once again, really good play from Belgium. From Denmark. Belgium trying to recover somehow. What a fast start. Mæhle on the left-hand side. And Vass arrives perfectly, but doesn't get enough purchase on the header. Into the ground, Courtois with a comfortable save.
Well, looking at the personnel for Denmark today, we were wondering whether they might even match up with Belgium, with Christensen playing on the right of their defence as it stands. But of course, as you were saying earlier, Tony, it's a very flexible coaching system they have behind the scenes.
Well, they normally start with a back four, don't they? But when needs must, they switch quite comfortably to a three and push full-backs on to play wing-backs. So there's not anything new for these Denmark players, and no doubt when they are playing against this Belgian side, flexibility will be key.
Yeah, and you can see Daniel Vass dropping back to the right side. Roberto Martinez. Very much to do with squad management for him at this stage, with players on the return. Talking about the likes of Witsel and De Bruyne, who are available from the bench today.
Add Eden Hazard to that list as well. Of course, did get 20 minutes or so. You've got one rather strong bench.
Delaney, who along with Poulsen looked very relaxed when he spoke to the world's media yesterday. Christensen driving on. Højbjerg. Damsgaard. I thought about the return for Mæhle. That's a potent-looking combination down the left side for Denmark.
It is, and Damsgaard, 20 years of age, Sampdoria player, has got great ability. Here we see the goal again. It's one touch. What an excellent strike. Hard and low across the keeper. You see Denier tries to stop it, but through the legs of the defender and past Courtois.
98 seconds. The second fastest ever goal at the European Championship. Mæhle's onto this. Kirichenko in 2004 with a record at 67 seconds. That's Russia against Greece. To Greece that year. Towards Brathwaite. Carrasco. Belgium, who started so impressively, so emphatically against Russia. The one downside, Timothy Castanier's clash with Kujayev. That has ruled him out for the remainder of the tournament. Damsgaard hustling, stealing it from Tielemans.
And we're normally used to midfield of Belgium really just controlling the game. Tielemans, Dendoncker having comfortable possession at the moment. They can't get on the ball. When they do, they're being closed down so quickly by Denmark.
Carrasco here for Belgium. They are actually coming up to the 10-minute mark. And Belgium here, I'm pretty sure will knock the ball out of play. A round of applause here around the Parken Stadium for Christian Eriksen. Play paused. And the translation of that banner is that all of Denmark is with you, Christian. A stadium unified, a sport unified. And his inter-colleague, Romelu Lukaku, joining with Belgium's praise for one of the truly talented players of our generation. Denier here with the early mistake that prized open the chance for Yusuf Poulsen. His 9th goal for Denmark, scored in the friendly against Germany. A 1-1 draw in Innsbruck, which they followed up with a 2-0 victory against Bosnia and Herzegovina. Meunier, Tielemans. Vertonghen. Carrasco. Torgan Hazard. Lukaku. Yeah, on him in a flash. Trying to wriggle in behind the Danish midfield, Romelu Lukaku. He's got this incredible record right now. 20 goals in his last 15 matches for Belgium. Poulsen. What a ball. Damsgaard! Nearly got there, trapped with Meunier, his ever-present shadow.
Excellent ball to Damsgaard. Difficult to control that. It bounced high outside of the boot. Couldn't quite get the right connection, steer it towards goal. But Denmark winning the ball back really well, finding space and having willing runners getting to that box, looking dangerous.
Touch inadvertently from Hazard. Here's Brathwaite. Sells in once. Tony Alderweireld clears. Vass.
Really has been a great start, hasn't it? And Brathwaite there turned baton and inside out. Unfortunately, there was no one up for Denmark running from deep just to slot that one home, put it into a good area. But I'm not sure there could have been a better start to the game for the home side.
The sun shining on the Parken Stadium in Copenhagen, the temperature around about 26 degrees. Fans were soaking up the sun in the park opposite the stadium over the tree-lined avenue outside. It has been a glorious day. With the incentive of knowing that are winning here today, and they will qualify for the round of 16. I was saying about squad management for Roberto Martinez. You think about the players he's got on the bench. It's an absolutely awesome substitutes bench that they have at their disposal. But of course, getting them all match fit and ready for the knockout stages has to be a priority for them.
Yes, and also, of course, winning football matches in the meantime, so it's okay giving a player minutes, but it has to be with regard of winning the game.
Poulsen, lovely return from Højbjerg. And Poulsen trying to pick out Damsgaard, who made that diagonal run.
Just had too much time. Of course, when he got the goal, it was very quickly in the back of the net. Here, he looked up, played the wrong ball. Damsgaard made that run to the near post, ball went far.
To be fair, it probably wasn't the easiest option there for Poulsen. But hustling here from Vestergaard. Delaney now slips it on for Mæhle. Up against Alderweireld. Brathwaite! And Denayer in close attention.
Always difficult because Brathwaite now is past that near post. Little deflection as well. Just gives Denayer enough opportunity to get a little bit closer to the ball. Once again, you can see there, Simon Kjær nice and tight with Romelu Lukaku. Lukaku's had precious little to deal with. Got the ball to his feet just the once, the Belgians, and Simon Kjær was after him, won the ball back. That battle was going to run and run.
Poulsen, Brathwaite, Vass, Damsgaard wide on the left. More space perhaps for Mæhle here. Damsgaard. Mæhle. Meunier, standing tall and strong. Wants to go in the way. Crowd are loving this. The majority of them anyway. Vass, Poulsen. Smuggled away by Den Donker. was listening to the former World Cup winner Patrick Vieira this week saying he believes it's now or never for Belgium. The best squad they've ever assembled, but one arguably coming to the end of its cycle.
I would agree, with an average age of nearly 29 years of age. The oldest squad here, of course, along with Sweden. So it has to be now. Some players with so many caps to their name. Can they, of course, get something even more important, and that is a title? Euro 2020 would be a fitting reward for such a good squad, but can they do it? At the moment, they're rattled.
Turning adversity into strength. Denmark have been positively turbocharged in the opening exchanges of this match. Vass. Højbjerg. Two for company, not the greatest clearance here. It's come straight to Andreas Christensen. Now Delaney. Delaney. Rather caught betwixt and between. With the Poulsen up through the middle and Damsgaard and Mæhle out left.
Well, Damsgaard, of course, is playing on that left-hand side, but he is the one that's allowed to float and move inside, allowing Mæhle really to push on, and he has got forward to good effect so far.
Damsgaard, player you and I have seen Tony play in Serie A for Sampdoria a number of times this past year, and he's got one quality in pace, but he's got the finishing power too.
He has. He's got great ability. Still a very young man, so all his career in front of him, but you can already see he's got great talent. He'll be important to Denmark in the years to come.
It's just a slight shift in the balance of the team, notwithstanding the obvious change, but removing Jonas Vint, putting in Damsgaard up front. It's put Poulsen through the middle rather than out wide. Damsgaard full of running, full of athleticism. Denmark given the perfect start by use of Poulsen. Carrasco feeding it up to Lukaku. He's not really had too much of a sniff of it so far.
Not at all. Every time the ball comes up, so many players around him, but it's always rushed as well, so no quality service for the striker at the moment.
Only once before have they met at the European Championship, back in 1984 in Strasbourg. That day it was Denmark who came from behind to win it. They were 2 down, 1-3-2, the winner from Preben Elkjær. Enough to knock out Belgium and send Denmark into the semi-finals, where they lost on penalties to Spain. Spain then losing to France in the final in Paris. So far, penalties have been more missed than scored.
Belgium at the moment are finding precious little space out there. Christensen gave them a little bit of respite with a free kick, but Tielemans here needs to be on the ball and start dictating play to get his side back in it.
Alderweireld. Too high for Lukaku. Well, what you can say about the Belgian squad in 2021 is the fact that they have enormous quality for every position, both for the starting 11 and in reserve.
see Torgan Hazard, the left arm is up early and across the face. That's what the foul was given for.
Talk about the strength of the Belgian bench. And, well, Italy have had a quite exceptional start. But Belgium surely have one of the best benches in the tournament so far. Witsel, De Bruyne, Eden Hazard, Benteke, Batshuayi.
I think that's called plenty of options, and really good ones at that as well, and they might need them the way this is going, because Denmark, they have started so quickly, controlling the game, scored one, and other opportunities as well.
Vass. Vestergaard, Højbjerg, Damsgaard, Mæhle to the left. Delaney's gone and joined Braithwaite and Poulsen, waiting for any delivery. Because when Yannick Vestergaard came on the other day, it was get us out of jail type of introduction, where he was really thrown into the fray with, well, really almost as an out-and-out centre forward in some regards. Højbjerg, look at the determination, the eagerness here. Fantastic so far from Denmark. Belgium struggling to find a degree of creativity to unlock Denmark. Lukaku beaten to it by Vass.
Really good challenge that was, but Belgium finally found a way to bypass the midfield, and even then Vass, the defender, the wing-back on the right-hand side, manages to intercept, and back they come.
Every pass cheered, every tackle cheered. Mæhle. Denier trying to get tight, maybe a bit too tight. And Vass unleashes the shot.
They took it nice and early, trying to catch Courtois out.
Kier, Delaney. Now Poulsen. Højbjerg looking for Poulsen. Delaney following up.
You see, normally Belgium have, of course, plenty of options for the man on the ball, but at the moment they really are struggling. The back three is really almost becoming a back five, because Meunier is getting pushed so far back on the right-hand side by Mæhle. So he isn't an option. And in midfield, just Danish players are everywhere.
Yeah, there's Braithwaite stealing it, pinching it. Delaney finding Damsgaard. Followed by Dendoncker, blocked off by Meunier. Damsgaard has had a really bright, inventive, creative start. Once again, Mæhle against Meunier. He gets the better of him. Just
This time, sorry, Dendoncker. It's the one that pulls back Mæhle.
The 1992 champions with their first goal on the board. Poulsen. 98 seconds. Now Daniel Vass orchestrating this free kick for Denmark. Referee looked as if he was going to hold them for a moment there. Well, the goal that triggered a genuine outpouring of support. Chance here for Denmark.
It's Mæhle again. Dries Mertens now in that defensive role. Belgium want Mertens in that last third on the ball. Instead, he's having to try and defend, as is the rest of his teammates, because they really are being put under great pressure.
Christensen, Vestergaard, Delaney, Braithwaite and Poulsen around the back. Kjær coming into the mix as well now. Vass to take. Comfortable enough for Courtois, who can bowl Belgium. Now back onto the offensive once again. Christensen shoving aside Carrasco.
Needed to get there as well, because Carrasco was in plenty of space, but Christensen got back extremely well. So much pushing and shoving and holding on. Tielemans goes down. Got to be careful. Of course, referees have been told to clamp down on that sort of thing, but Tielemans didn't get any sympathy from Bjorn Kuipers.
Yeah, the referee's chair, Roberto Rossetti, actually made a point of it pre-tournament, saying that some of these offences that have become rather more commonplace in the domestic game are going to be clamped down on here. Alderweireld finding Hazard. Here's Tielemans. Half an hour gone. Denmark in front. That early goal from Poulsen as a result of Denier's mistake.
And if you think half hour into the game, you'd expect Belgium to be in control of this match. However, Romelu Lukaku has had the fewest touches of any player out there. That just shows you how Denmark have defended well, but more importantly, they've taken charge of the game.
Corner here for Belgium. They've only had the one touch in Denmark's penalty area so far. Carrasco winds it up. Back for Hazard. From sunshine into shadow. Kjær doing his best to ensure a good disciplined defensive Denmark line there. And inevitably Belgium weren't really entirely sure what they'd be up against today. It's more than just 11. Carrasco. Great punch, Michael. Height, distance, assertive. Everything you'd want from your goalkeeper. But Mæhle runs into trouble. Here's Vertonghen. Sort of feels as if Belgium really just trying to get some sort of passing rhythm together. Meunier, Kier, solidly, boldly heading away.
They haven't been able to string too many passes together, have they, Belgium? So trying to get their confidence, but the crowd is just giving us one incredible atmosphere, and Belgium at the moment don't seem to be able to handle it. It's a good punch, it really is. Had to get over Dries Mertens as well. Of course, not the tallest of players, however, not easy. One-handed, high and away. Excellent goalkeeping.
Simon Kier, the captain out there, but Kasper Schmeichel showing at the weekend every bit as much of a leader to this Danish group. Vass here. The leap from Yusuf Poulsen. For those of you unfamiliar, Urari on the back is a reference done out of respect to his late father. Look at the space here. Delaney, Damsgaard. No one on the end of it for Denmark yet, but Damsgaard takes over again. He's manoeuvred an angle, and he nearly found the bottom corner as well.
Great ability from Damsgaard. Initially, the ball across the box is a superb one as well, and then trickery left and right, finds himself half a yard of space and couldn't quite then find the bottom corner. Courtois may have had it covered, but so very close. Really good play from Denmark. Damsgaard, full of confidence, almost made it too.
Well, for many, I would imagine that he's almost slipped under the European radar this season. But just a little cameo of what he's capable of. Now Lukaku, jamming it forward here. Denmark have a player over in the middle, Carrasco. They couldn't find him. Now Mæhle. We were talking about tactics and systems, and for all of that, it's much more down to just the state of mind of the players, perhaps. But the way that Mæhle's getting forward down the left, and absolutely full of energy and running.
Well, they're just not allowing Belgium to settle on the ball whatsoever. They really are struggling to get any sort of pattern to their play, Belgium. But Denmark, again, Christensen in there quickly. Now, normally, best team in the world, which obviously number one with FIFA, which are Belgium. They've managed to get their foot on the ball and control the game, but no, Denmark having none of it. They're the ones on the front foot, winning the ball back time and time again.
Yeah, Mæhle going into Meunier. Tell you what though, Tony, I mean, this business of being number one in the world, it's all very well being number one in a ranking. You've got to win something.
And that's the pressure on Belgium. They need to respond and win Euro 2020. Their time is now. Players, of course, as you say, at their peaks, they will go over and start to retire, but this group, strong group, but can they win something?
Delaney, Brathwaite in the middle, behind him is Poulsen. Poulsen on the turn, snapped away by Den Donker.
The normal calm defending we see from Belgium isn't quite there, and Denmark really finding good space, good crosses into the box, causing plenty of problems.
What strikes me about Belgium, that point about needing to win something, I think you could maybe look at Spain 13 years ago when they won that quarter-final penalty shootout against Italy. What a difference it made to them when they finally lifted a trophy. And suddenly they were coming by the bucket load. With Belgium, you feel that they've got the quality individually, and everybody talks about this as being the closest international team to a club team. It's that sort of atmosphere.
And they have been superb, they really have. Roberto Martinez has got this side certainly singing from the same hymn sheet. However, today is something very, very different. They've not come across anything like this. And the spirit that the Danish team are playing in is just quite remarkable.
Not the greatest first touch, Tielemans. Absolutely full of it.
Well, Tielemans, quite simply, has been hustled out the game. Every time he takes a touch, it's too late because Denmark are in there, nipping at his heels, winning the ball back, tackling him. And he's finding it tough.
Højbjerg, Damsgaard. Still a pocket full of dynamite, isn't he, this young Dane? He's, what, only 20 years of age? Moved to Serie A last summer, just under a year ago from Nordsjælland. The local club, that is, not the other side of the world. Now Mertens to Meunier. Carrasco making himself available. Vestergaard away and then to safety. Here's Dendoncker. Meunier, Mertens. Vestergaard. Oh, all over him like a rash there.
Well, Vestergaard just tries to go through, and I think he does tackle the ball. That's the follow through that then does trip up Meunier.
Well, it's all about what the man in the middle sees. Alderweireld for Belgium, trailing since the second minute. Carrasco, we won't get to that. I suppose the biggest question here is, can Denmark keep up this pressure, this momentum, this energy?
Well, there's no doubt, I think the Belgian players and management will hope that this whirlwind of a start from Denmark blows itself out, but I'm not so sure.
Hazard, Lukaku. That extra man in Denmark's backline has made a huge difference for them. Damsgaard just running it out.
Well, that's what Denmark have to be wary of when the ball does come into Lukaku. He holds it up so very well, brings others into play, and we've seen that in the last few minutes. It's happening slightly more, so Belgium working their way back into this game.
I just love the way that Romelu Lukaku has become, I suppose for me, the complete striker. He's added so many different facets to his game over the last couple of years since his move to Inter. You talk about screening the ball, protecting it. He can run into the channels, he can drive at opponents. It's not just the physicality, he's got the intelligence to go with it. And here he is. Here's another example, drawing the challenge from Kjær, wriggles free, the strength to avoid the Danish tackles. But then Kjær getting just enough of a touch on it. Rescued by Mertens, play continues. Lukaku upended by Kjær. Inter against Milan all of a sudden, bit of a derby contest.
Well, Lukaku and Kjaer, of course, this season have come up against each other a lot of times. I think it's 5 or 6 now, but a little bit too vigorous from Simon Kjaer. Lukaku initially great strength, wriggles through and then just sets off, but really is key, this battle between Denmark's captain and Lukaku for supremacy.
The metamorphosis of Romelu Lukaku has been a joy to behold in recent years, and he certainly turned it on the international stage as well. But moments of concern here for Kasper Schmeichel. Denmark goal, couple of minutes into the first half. And now Belgium, a couple of minutes before the end of the first half, unable to threaten.
Carrasco with the free kick, just waiting for the runs, puts it into a dangerous area, but overhits the pass. You just wonder they don't use second half, the likes of De Bruyne. That sort of quality be added to the pitch, because Belgium certainly needs something.
Well, we've mentioned a couple of times already, I mean, De Bruyne, Eden Hazard, Witsel, Benteke, Batshuayi, Trossard, Jeremy Doku, a bright upcoming talent they've included this time around.
Recuerde, aquí todos los meses de mayo y junio son los meses de la Champions, porque estamos recordando Champions o Liga. Por suerte el Real Madrid ha ganado mucho y nos gusta recordarlo. Esto va a pasar dentro de 20, 30 años.
Damsgaard, Mæhle. Well, encouraged to shoot. Olivier coming forward there, but Denmark flooding back. Carrasco didn't have a chance.
It's great closing down, it really is. Carrasco sets off as fast as he could, but still he was caught.
Braithwaite, it's opened up for him, took a little nick off the back of Denier, I think.
Should have been a corner kick. Denier turned his back and it did flick off the back of the defender. I think the ball was going wide anyway, but it opened up nicely for him.
One added minute. Off goes Lukaku. That duel with Kjaer. And the Denmark captains won it more often than not. Last chance of the first half. What a half. What a reaction. What heart, what spirit from Denmark. Yusuf Poulsen, 98 seconds. Thumping it past Courtois after a mistake by Denier. But the perfect pick-me-up for a country, for a team responding with huge energy and spirit here. Half-time in Copenhagen, it's Denmark 1, Belgium 0.
What, yeah? So slow.
Yes.
What? How did you do that?
Bro, you have still not bought bitcoins? What, yeah? So slow.
Don't miss out on new opportunities. Buy Bitcoin with Rs100 only on WazirX.
Here's a secret. You can pay your credit card bills on Cred and earn Cred coins. Use them to claim cashback and rewards. Here's another secret. Jackie loves Zumba.
There you go.
Here's what you spent last month.
This will help with the itching.
Can you hear those people behind me? No, mind your own business. Why don't you mind your own business?
Acco. कार इंश्योरेंस पे 0 कमीशन,
तभी प्रीमियम एकदम कम।
खजूर समझाएगा भिड़ू।
तो ऐप चेक कर लेना भिड़ू।
0 कमीशन ऑन Acco।
अरे बॉस।
इंडिया मान लो, Acco ऐप चेक कर लो।
गाइस, इस बार कौन जीतेगा?
डिफेंस देखिए इनकी,
अटैक देखिए सामने वाली टीम की।
राहुल, तुम अपना गेम खेलो।
And the refs awarded a free kick in the last minute.
दिल से खेलो with Betway. डाउनलोड द ऐप नाउ। इस खेल में फाइनेंशियल रिस्क शामिल है और इसकी आदत लगना भी संभव है। कृपया जिम्मेदारी से और अपने जोखिम पर खेलें।
Download Neo X and get up to 7% interest per annum on your savings account.
You only live once, so follow your wanderlust and chase every dream you have. Because when you can go anywhere and do anything, living just once is more than enough. The all-new Wrangler, a legend evolved.
Excuse me, what will you do with your first salary?
So I would like to present my first paycheck to my father.
I'll buy a laptop for my younger brother.
I will save some money and with the rest I'll get an AC for my dad's room.
I'm going to start a life insurance policy. I think it's very important for my family's security.
Here's a secret. You can pay your credit card bills on Cred and earn Cred coins. Use them to claim cashback and rewards. Here's another secret. Jackie loves Zumba.
To be Bitcoin. Isn't it complicated?
पता है फुटबॉल इतना पॉपुलर क्यों है? क्योंकि कोई भी खेल सकता है।
Buying Bitcoin is as simple.
Seriously?
Yes. All you need is WazirX.
इंडिया का बिटकॉइन एक्सचेंज।
Sony Live's broadcast off. Exclusive rewards is brought to you by Cred.
I'm sure you're enjoying the experience of watching UEFA Euro 2020 on the Sony Sports Network and love hearing the experiences of our top panelists. Talking about experiences, we have something exclusive for you. Cred is a members-only credit card bill payment app. Every time you pay your credit card bills on Cred, you receive Cred coins. You can use these to win exclusive rewards or get special access to curated products and experiences. So pay your credit card bills now, like now.
Sony Live's broadcast off. Exclusive rewards is brought to you by Cred.
When you pay your credit card bills on Cred, you earn Cred coins. Use them to claim cashback and rewards. Now that's as rewarding as watching your favorite cricketers in a boy band.
Don't forget us because of T20. In the 90s, we were the OGs. Oh yeah.
To be Bitcoin. Isn't it complicated? पता है फुटबॉल इतना पॉपुलर क्यों है? क्योंकि कोई भी खेल सकता है. Buying Bitcoin is as simple.
Seriously?
Yes. All you need is Wazirex, India का Bitcoin exchange. There you go.
Here's what you spent last month.
This will help with the itching.
Can I have a taste of your... Can you hear those people behind me? Go, mind your own business. Why don't you mind your own business?
जकैको शॉट मारा छोटे Acco.
कार इंश्योरेंस पे 0 कमीशन.
तभी प्रीमियम एकदम कम.
खजूर समझाएगा भिड़ू.
तो ऐप चेक कर लेना बिड़ू.
0 commission on Acco. अरे बॉस. इंडिया मान लो Acco ऐप चेक कर लो.
गाइस, इस बार कौन जीतेगा?
डिफेंस देखिए इनकी.
अटैक देखिए सामने वाली टीम की.
राहुल, तुम अपना गेम खेलो.
And the refs awarded a free kick in the last minute.
दिल से खेलो with Betway. डाउनलोड द ऐप नाउ. इस खेल में फाइनेंशियल रिस्क शामिल है और इसकी आदत लगना भी संभव है. कृपया जिम्मेदारी से और अपने जोखिम पर खेलें.
Download NeoX and open your savings bank account in 100 seconds.
You only live once, so follow your wanderlust and chase every dream you have. Because when you can go anywhere and do anything, living just once is more than enough. The all-new Wrangler, a legend evolved.
Guys, कल मेरी नई बाइक आ रही है.
Great. तब तो I will come with Rohan every day.
इंश्योरेंस है. तुझे क्या लगता है? इंश्योरेंस, पीयूसी सब कुछ है. I was
brought to you by Acco Insurance.
Hello everyone from Tony Dorigo and me, Steve Banyard, and welcome back to Copenhagen on the day Denmark bounces back from the traumatising events of last weekend. He's a more left-sided player given away here to Højbjerg, and Poulsen is in! Poulsen scores! What a start for Denmark! An outpouring of emotion as the Danish recovery begins.
The pass was a poor one. Højbjerg picked it up. Perfect timing of the pass then to Poulsen.
A round of applause here around the Parken Stadium for Christian Eriksen. Play paused. And the translation of that banner is that all of Denmark is with you, Christian. Look at the space here. Delaney, Damsgaard. No one on the end of it for Denmark yet, but Damsgaard takes over again. He's manoeuvred an angle, and he nearly found the bottom corner as well.
Great ability from Damsgaard.
What a half. With huge energy and spirit here. Half-time in Copenhagen, it's Denmark 1, Belgium 0.
To be Bitcoin. Isn't it complicated? पता है फुटबॉल इतना पॉपुलर क्यों है? क्योंकि कोई भी खेल सकता है. Buying Bitcoin is as simple.
Seriously?
Yes. All you need is Wazirex, India का Bitcoin exchange. To be Bitcoin. Isn't it complicated? पता है फुटबॉल इतना पॉपुलर क्यों है?
क्योंकि कोई भी खेल सकता है.
Buying Bitcoin is as simple.
Seriously?
Yes. All you need is Wazirx, India का Bitcoin exchange. There you go.
Here's what you spent last month.
This will help with the itching.
Can you hear those people behind me? No, mind your own business. Why don't you mind your own business?
Lukaku shot मारा छोटे. Acco.
कार इंश्योरेंस पे 0 कमीशन.
तभी प्रीमियम एकदम कम.
खजूर समझाएगा बिड़ू.
तो ऐप चेक कर लेना बिड़ू.
0 commission on Acco. अरे बॉस. इंडिया मान लो. Acco ऐप चेक कर लो.
गाइस इस बार कौन जीतेगा?
डिफेंस देखिए इनकी,
अटैक देखिए सामने वाली टीम की.
राहुल, तुम अपना गेम खेलो.
And the refs awarded a free kick in the last minute.
दिल से खेलो with Betway. डाउनलोड द ऐप नाउ. इस खेल में फाइनेंशियल रिस्क शामिल है और इसकी आदत लगना भी संभव है. कृपया जिम्मेदारी से और अपने जोखिम पर खेलें.
Download NeoX and get up to 7% interest per annum on your savings account.
You only live once, so follow your wanderlust and chase every dream you have. Because when you can go anywhere and do anything, living just once is more than enough. The all-new Wrangler, a legend evolved.
My journey of insurance and investments began at the same time, when I invested in LIC SEEP. In this fast-moving world, SEEP can balance your funds with security and growth. SEEP will take...
Are under arrest. Do you wish to hang?
Only art can take the pain and suffering of our lives and turn it into beauty.
"92 seconds. That's all that it took for Denmark to take the lead in this crucial game in the group. What needs to change for Belgium?"
I think right away they need to bring in Eden Hazard within maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes. They're going to come in. After that, as Robin said, I think Kevin De Bruyne is definitely going to come in towards the end. And it'll be interesting to see if they can bring in Christian Eriksen as well. But I think first they're going to bring in Eden Hazard in place of Mertens.
Denmark, emotions. They did it for the first 45 minutes. How tough will it be to do it for another half?
It will still be tough, but listen, if the front three of Denmark can pin the back three of Belgium back, Braithwaite, Damsgaard and Paulsen, they've got a great chance, and don't let them out. Lock them in channels. Don't let them play out Belgium. Make them go predictable. Make them long balls up to Lukaku. Try and get somebody in front of Lukaku. They've got a great chance, but again, it's about emotions. Can they have another second half like the first half? If they can do that, they'll win the game.
Can they? Can they have another 45 like that?
I think they definitely need another goal as soon as possible to take that lead. At least get a point, because we don't want to see a good team like Denmark going out of this tournament. It'll be difficult since you have Eden Hazard and Kevin De Bruyne on the bench. So they might not be able to hold on to 1-0 lead.
One shot on target each, but just the 3 attempts for Belgium. Roberto Martinez will not be happy, man.
He won't be happy, but you know they've got to find a plan of how to get the ball to Lukaku and how to get him in dangerous areas, and they're not doing that at this present time. All because of Denmark's midfield three. They're cutting off all the passing lanes to him. They're making it go predictable and long, and that's what Belgium are not about. They're not about, here we go, there's the man coming on.
Yes, Kevin De Bruyne is coming on for Belgium. I'm sure he's going to have a huge impact in the second half. These 45 minutes will tell us a lot about the group. Second half in the company of Steve Banyard and Tony Dorigo.
All in white. Denmark. All in red and straight out of the traps. So here, confirmation of Belgium's change. Kevin De Bruyne. Replacing Belgium's new centurion in Dries Mertens. For the second half, Denmark leading through that early. Bringing on Kevin De Bruyne for Dries Mertens. Tony Dorigo watching with me, and we were saying about the potential strength from the Belgian bench. There's the first example.
Yes, and not a surprise that De Bruyne has been brought on. Someone that can get on the ball, control things, calm things down. And of course, he has got great quality as well. And I think he'll lift his teammates because they certainly need lifting at the moment.
Yeah, De Bruyne, who suffered some facial fractures of his own, didn't he, in the UEFA Champions League final against Chelsea. Similar to what's now happened to Timothy Castagna. What a tantalising group this is turning into. Group B at the moment, as it stands, Belgium, Denmark, Finland, Russia, all on 3 points, potentially going into the last day. There's still plenty of distance to be travelled in this one. When you think about the overall tournament, and the top two from each of the groups goes through to the round of 16, along with the 4 best teams finishing third. And 2 of the third place qualifiers for the knockouts 5 years ago only had 3 points. 4 points guaranteed a place in the round of 16 last time around. His use of Poulsen, scorer for Denmark on this emotive day. Now Delaney. Højbjerg. Delaney. Space here for Delaney, encouraged to shoot. What on earth happened to Belgium's closing down there?
Well, they just retreated, and somehow Denmark keep finding the spare man here. He's in acres of space. Someone has to come out to him, surely. Delaney took 1 touch, 2 touch, but still unfortunately couldn't hit the target. It's a long way out, however, need to test Courtois, surely.
Getting on for 2 years since Thomas Delaney last scored for his country. Belgium with Carrasco. De Bruyne in close attendance here. Carrasco. Christensen. And then Vass. Back with Tielemans. Meunier. Well, thumbs up for the cross.
Well, the pass was superb. The run was very good as well. The header, not so. Couldn't quite get the angle. Not too much of the ball as well, but that's where Meunier needs to be.
Better.
Urso's happy, yes, absolutely.
Better, much better. Meunier getting the second of the 3 Belgian goals against Russia in St. Petersburg. They'll close the roof against Finland back there. Denmark facing Russia here once again. De Bruyne looking for Lukaku. Kier was sliding in. I think probably right from just the second minute when Højbjerg stole the attempted pass forward by Denayer. It's really set the tone for the entire Danish team.
Well, Braithwaite, so very quick. Courtois just makes a mistake, panicked into kicking it out. But that tone, you're right, has been set nice and early. And the tempo that Denmark are continuing to play at is really impressive.
Wonderful Damsgaard. What a match he's having.
Great feet. What about the feet of the young man there? Just skipping beyond players left and right. Two players, Dendoncker and Tielemans, leaves both of them for dead. Dendoncker has to pull him down. Right hand on the shirt, and that's a foul.
Vass, Damsgaard, two options here for Denmark. Damsgaard. It was Lukaku.
Well, it's a big wall when it does jump up as well. Dendoncker is the one that brave and heads it away. Hard to get it up, over and down the wall when it's so close to the box.
Yeah, good brave defending. There's Kier. Vestergaard. Vestergaard and Damsgaard, the two Danish changes from the dramatic events of Saturday. Kier. Christensen. As the game's gone on, it's looked more and more like a three. Here's Damsgaard. Oh, nearly. Poulsen had just checked his run. Belgium with a player down, Lukaku on the move and very difficult to stop. But Vestergaard is equally strong.
Well, he's got a physical presence himself as Vestergaard, and good strong defending, no way past.
It was the landing more than anything for Carrasco, who's back on his feet again. Without defeat, Belgium, since England in the UEFA Nations League last October. Truly wonderful atmosphere. 25,000, most of them absolutely loving it. Perhaps more ominously for Denmark here, Belgium haven't failed to score since the World Cup semi-final 3 years ago. 31 matches in a row.
They only had one attempt in that first 45 minutes to Denmark's 9. Just shows you how dominant the Danes were, but you expect Belgium to come back strongly, and they are slowly getting back into the game, finding a little bit more space, but still Denmark come.
Yeah, it's a very good point, Tony, and when you think it was the 4th minute when Mertens had that shot, it's been a long time. Højbjerg, again pivotal to the way that Denmark has set up today. There's Vestergaard, this time slight misjudgment, and Lukaku's away. Lukaku here for Belgium. The cut back for De Bruyne, and there's the tap-in! Torgan Hazard for Belgium ties it up at 1-1.
What an incredible team goal that is. Simon Kjær fell to the ground, however, once Lukaku gets the ball, turns, he is gone, you can't catch him. It gets to De Bruyne, and for all the world I thought he was going to shoot. Instead he finds spare man on the far side, not one or two. Carrasco could have put it in as well, but Torgan Hazard is there just to tap it home. But brilliant play between the Belgians. Torgan Hazard has the easiest of jobs, put it past Schmeichel.
Well, we were talking about the strength of Vestergaard, Lukaku. It really is a heavyweight duel between the two of them. The one moment that Vestergaard just slightly lost Lukaku, that's all he needed. That was the trigger.
And that's what Lukaku does extremely well, because sometimes you think, okay, physically, I'll go up against you, but then, of course, he can just spin the defender. And once he gets that half a yard, you're just not catching him. We've seen it time and time again, certainly with Inter in Italy, now with Belgium as well. And he scores so many goals that way, but this time ended up setting up the equaliser. And now, can Belgium go on, or can Denmark respond?
Here come Denmark. And Braithwaite wins the corner.
Well, of course they're going to respond. It really is impressive. Braithwaite on the far side, just trying to whip in that early cross. Vertonghen does enough.
Well, Vass has gone across. Belgium will make a further 2 changes fairly shortly. 2 of the big hitters coming on. Maybe the pendulum has just swung Belgium's way. Has to go in there. It's a very crowded penalty box. And Vass with a strong challenge that the referee sees as a Danish free kick up against Torgan Hazard.
Well, Bjorn Kuipers has given it to the Danes, but not quite sure how that hasn't gone to Torgan Hazard. The foot is very high from Vass. Down goes Hazard, yet he's the one penalised.
Yeah, I must admit, my first reaction was it's going the other way. $25,000 Danish fans trying to suck the ball into Courtois' goal. Damsgaard, Vass. And it's Vass. Clipped up by Højbjerg. Delaney. Lukaku. Well, got past 2, not 3. Foul by Vass, this could be the yellow.
Well, once again, as soon as Lukaku gets it, drifts past players. Denmark know they've got to stop him. And this time, Vass does get penalised. Crew challenge.
Yeah, just a bit too exuberant. Witsel. Eden Hazard. How about that for a pair of changes to bring on when you've already brought on De Bruyne?
Well, you could sense it was coming. Of that, there's absolutely no doubt, because Carrasco and Mertens in that first half got precious little of the ball. Not that they played badly, but they just couldn't get involved in the game. Now, with Belgium coming back into the game, I just sense those players will be important, and Witsel, good to see him back as well.
Yeah, it's been out with an Achilles injury. So Carrasco, Dendoncker make way. We were saying earlier about giving some of these recovering players the necessary pitch time to regain match fitness, particularly with a view to the knockout stages, which Belgium will surely hope and expect to reach. Curiously, they were in the same UEFA Nations League group, with Belgium winning both meetings. With Hazard, with the armband as well now. And suddenly the flair, the formidable power of Belgium's front line becomes all more evident. Witsel, Delaney. Now we've got a battle.
Yes, we certainly have. Torgan Hazard has gone for the ball, but Kuipers didn't like the response and the theatrics from Hazard when he was given the foul against him. I don't think Braithwaite went down rather easily. Always a telltale sign is when the player straightens his leg and falls to the ground. That's not natural. However, it has gone Denmark's way, and here Lukaku, so much strength. Kier couldn't take him out. And then De Bruyne, great pass, it really is. The vision Kevin De Bruyne has is just superb.
Well, here comes Jens Striger Larsen and Christoph Norgard. Being shuffled, Daniel Vass, the other player replaced here. So Vass and Poulsen replaced by Norgard, and Striger Larsen is Mæhle, who started with such ambition, such energy. Delaney. Damsgaard. Up through the middle now. Kier to Vestergaard. Damsgaard to Mæhle. And Striger Larsen, who's just come on. There's a curiosity about him historically, that Finland match at the weekend, his very first defeat for the national team, despite having played 37 times. He's been something of a good omen for them down the years.
Well, I certainly hope so. Now that he's come onto the pitch, he'll play that right wing-back role. He has to get up and down, show plenty of energy. Hazard, of course, has been brought on to cause damage the other way.
Great support play here. Witsel. Denier. So Norgard has taken up the central midfield defensive role for Denmark. Striger Larsen down the right side, acting as, if you like, the wing-back for Denmark in this slightly revamped system. And there, Meunier beaten to it. That's a Belgian corner, though.
Yes, whatever system Denmark play, what they do know, they're going to come under pressure towards the end of this game.
Bruyne's corner. Flicked off Kier. Not terribly tidily gathered in by Witzel. But now he's wanting to act as the on-field chief. Torgan Hazard, scorer of the Belgium equaliser here. And the meetings down the years between these two have often produced their fair share of not just goals, but good quality goals as well. Lukaku, away by Kier. There's a friendly here back in June 2000. Mark Wilmots, former head coach of Belgium, getting the second equaliser for them. But notable mostly for a penalty each, including one scored by Kasper Schmeichel's dad, Peter. Flag up here.
It's a free kick against Lukaku, and all Lukaku is trying to do is get his arm across Vestergaard and wants the ball into his feet, but it was quite high and it caught the central defender in the face. That's what Bjorn Kuipers saw. Referee's assistant saw it as well. Free kick was given.
Jensen Cornelius talking there with Casper Human. Cornelius would certainly give them a very straightforward, old-fashioned centre-forward to aim at. Damsgaard. It's been a little ray of sunshine today. Eden Hazard via De Bruyne. And there's a rarity.
Misplaced pass from Kevin De Bruyne. Write down the time and the date. Doesn't normally happen, but all of a sudden you can just sense Belgium able to get out and through the lines of this Denmark side. That tempo that they played at in the first 45 minutes, of course they can't keep it up for the full 90, but they need to try and keep pushing, keep pressing, keep Belgium at bay.
Eden Hazard, Kevin De Bruyne, nearly a perfect through ball for Lukaku. Kevin De Bruyne has this wonderful gift of disguise. Damsgaard's made his run. Sadly for him, it wasn't spotted by Norgård. Damsgaard up against Witzel. Wide is Mæhle. Brathwaite racing into the middle. Mæhle! Well, comfortable enough for Courtois, who's having to shove off Stringer Larsen. Preventing the quick release, I think. Great steal. Norgård. Delaney. Damsgaard. Look at Mæhle running ahead of him here. Mæhle in behind Denayer. Not quite. Good recovery by the defender. Really strong. But now Damsgaard goes down. And the referee didn't like that one bit. Yellow card Damsgaard. Simulation.
Absolutely spot on as well. Damsgaard knew what he did. Got up sheepishly. And now, Stringer Larsen, I think, is going to get a talking to as well from Bjorn Kuipers. Denayer with some really good initial defending, but the challenge never came from Mounier. And that is simulation, trying to get your opponent booked and win the penalty kick. Bjorn Kuiper's having none of it.
Not too many marks for artistic impression either, I would say. Lukaku, the Predator, just again protecting and preserving possession. Wonderful stuff, wonderful stuff. Eden Hazard, De Bruyne! Well, that was pure class. A masterclass of a goal, fashioned by Lukaku, and a masterpiece from a true artist in Kevin De Bruyne. That was fabulous.
Well, I thought the first goal was a heck of a team goal. This one's even better. Impressive play. Lukaku wriggles out of a tight spot on the right-hand side, but once that slick passing eventually ended up at the feet of Kevin De Bruyne, that is the purest of strikes. Left foot into that near post. Michael surely must have thought it was going across goal. Caught unawares. The strike is pure, accurate, and ends up in the back of the net. Belgium, well, they've turned this around with two superb team goals.
A mark of respect from Kevin De Bruyne, I would suspect. Well, Casper Human, I'm sure, when he watches that back, will just simply purr at the elegance, the quality. Damsgaard replaced by Cornelius, and indeed Delaney by Jensen now. Andreas Cornelius, whose club side has been relegated this past year. Matthias Jensen has had the opposite experience. Promoted to England's Premier League with Brentford. Foot race here, Kasper Schmeichel there first, beating Eden Hazard, which is no mean feat. Well, two up through the middle now. Brathwaite, Cornelius for Denmark.
Yeah, it's going 3-5-2. When they have to defend, of course, it will be a five at the back. But now, can they hit Cornelius? Use his strengths? They have to be careful. Belgium on the break looks so lethal.
Well, he's a very good header of a ball. Scored an excellent goal against Bosnia and Herzegovina earlier on in June. Brathwaite, just offside here. Well, that goal from Kevin De Bruyne is a goal that puts Belgium in sight of the round of 16. All is not yet lost for Denmark, mind you. You think back to the year they won it, 1992. They began with a goalless draw against England before defeat to Sweden. They had 1 point from the first two matches. They went through by beating France 2-1. Larsen and Elstrup scoring, and Papin for France back then. Memories for you too, Tony, I suspect.
Yeah, swiftly moving on.
Højbjerg. Braithwaite! And Courtois with wonderful reflexes. Yes, you warmed a few benches back then, didn't you?
I certainly did. That was a heck of a strike there from Braithwaite, wasn't it? They still have fight in them, this Denmark side. Courtois, a really good save. And a great game of football. Not sure anyone deserves to lose this one, but here come Belgium.
Well, Eden Hazard through the middle here for Lukaku. Might break for De Bruyne. He wanted it back, Lukaku.
Well, this is the Belgium we have got to know. So much quality when they do go forward. And of course, now with the game getting stretched, Denmark have to try and push on to get that equaliser. Space is going to be then, unfortunately, there for Belgium to take advantage of.
15 to go, plus any to be added. What a brilliant advert for the tournament this has been. Full-blooded, full hearts, full of great goals. Braithwaite after another. Braithwaite! And it flicks off Alderweireld to safety. Just for a moment, it looks set for 2-2.
It's a great run from Braithwaite. Comes inside two players, but Alderweireld so vital with that interception and block. Just throws his body in the way, but Braithwaite had an opportunity earlier that Courtois saved, and they're foiled by the defender.
Watch out for Cornelius, Vestergaard, Christensen, Kjær. Who can they pick out? Vestergaard, Courtois, doing enough. Foul on the goalkeeper, was it?
Yeah, Simon Kjær was just a little bit late. Once Vestergaard actually won the header, Denmark needed someone to run across the eye line of Courtois. They didn't. Simon Kjær is the one that eventually got there, but just collided into the keeper. And here earlier into the channel, that's where you don't want Lukaku running. They managed to stop the first one. A long way out. De Bruyne couldn't quite find the accuracy he did when scoring the second goal.
What a stretch from Kjær. Well, Courtois being attended to here. But just to remind you that Denmark with home advantage for their third group game against Russia. That's on Monday.
See Vestergaard just left shoulder playing on Lukaku, but the 1-2s from Torgan Hazard to his brother Eden, then when it comes out to Kevin De Bruyne, you just can't stop those. Is it going left? Is it going right? Well, it's going right in the bottom corner. Belgium far ahead.
A pure strike, a respectful celebration.
There's a collision again, just after he's punched it, and there the knee, left knee of Simon Kjær going into Courtois' knee. That will be a sore one. It's just a dead leg. Should be able to run that off a little bit.
Belgium on course for 2 wins out of 2 and a place in the round of 16. Twelve minutes left for Denmark. Look how Belgium have mounted the pressure. The inclusion of De Bruyne. Then Eden Hazard. each involved in that second Belgium goal. Wetzel, who's added some defensive steel in midfield. There he is again. Breaks it up. That's what he does so well. Tielemans to De Bruyne, who's been given licence to roam. He's already shown his licence to thrill. Meunier. Found out something about him in the Road to the Euro series preview shows that I never knew before. He was a postman apparently many moons ago.
Now Belgium just knocking it around, aren't they? Keeping the ball, showing plenty of swagger and confidence. Denmark somehow have to get it back. All that energy that they had in that first 45 seems to have been drained out of them. They put so much into it, didn't they?
Alderweireld rolling away from Jensen. And I know everybody talks about this man as being the ultimate finisher, but we've had another example there today. It's been happening all season for Inter, the new Italian champions, as Courtois comes right to the edge of his area. Referee happy that he didn't handle the ball outside. I think what I'm saying about Lukaku is his team play now, it's on another level.
All-round play, yep. He really has got great vision. Tielemans there, really good work on this right-hand side, getting Jensen to dive in for a tackle. And in the book he goes, but you talk about the teamwork that Lukaku has got, running into those channels, the skill, but also he can score goals, and he scored goals aplenty here. Courtois comes out, touches it, and then lets it go just in time.
Yeah, really good officiating. Good Cappers and the match officials here. The officiating team, as well as Belgium's experience, coming to the fore. Injury for Belgium. They're telling Alderweireld to put it into touch. Torgan Hazard, bit of cramp maybe.
Just telling him to get up or get off the pitch, one of the two. It's nothing too serious, it's a bit of cramp. Just trying to run the clock down as well. There's a player, Mailer. We haven't seen him up the left-hand side at all, have we, in the second half? He was so prominent in that first 45 minutes, but Belgium really recovered after a resounding going over in the first 45 minutes to now dominate, score 2 goals, and look like they're controlling this match.
Yeah. One Hazard to another. Think about some of the other famous brothers who've played together at major tournaments. Meunier in trouble here, he's had his pocket picked, and Cornelius tries to find the pass. Off Jensen, Mailer, Cornelius, Braithwaite in the middle. So nearly.
Excellent ball from Cornelius, it really is. Belgium get themselves in a right muddle, give the ball away, and when Cornelius whips it across, Braithwaite just throws himself at it. Just a foot away. Denayer wasn't getting there, a little bit too hard for the oncoming Braithwaite.
Vestergaard off. Skov-Olsen on. Rather in the mould of Damsgaard, one of the upcoming exciting talents in Danish football.
mean Denmark will switch back to a back four. So flexible in what they can do, but of course they do need to push more men forward. Defender off, attacker on. Can that be the difference?
Yeah, thinking about all the brothers, seeing one score, one assist here for Belgium in this turnaround. We've got Emil and Boom Penza 20 plus years ago, Francois Leo van der Elst in the 80s. Mela. There's one other I should mention in a moment. But here's Brathwaite. Well, that's a teaser looking for Skov Olsen. Just going to mention the Jackers, Granit and Towland, who actually played on opposite teams 5 years ago. Albania against Switzerland. Opening match and loss. Two-1 to Belgium. Can Denmark summon up the energy, the spirit once more? Almost inevitable that there would be some sort of a lull, but can they finish strongly? Jensen, Mela. It's a wicked ball in, Cornelius attacks it. Vertonghen firmly away. Now here's Noga. Mela. Testing of circumstances, these Danish players have given everything. And the crowd responding. Mela, Jensen. Cornelius makes his run, just behind him. Eden Hazard's flick. Brushed out there to Skov Olsen. He was held slightly. There's a chance. And Brathwaite so nearly for 2-2.
It's a great header, it really is. Skov Olsen on the right-hand side just skips past Torgan Hazard, and he looks up, clips it at the back post, and Brathwaite so very close. Couldn't get above the ball to head it down. Not an easy chance either. Has to go back towards the ball, but does really well. Courtois beaten.
Just look at the puff of the cheeks here of Courtois. Oof. The sense of relief for Belgium, the sense of exasperation for Denmark. Might just give them the lift they need for the final push. Thought Skov Olsen did very well, actually, not to make more of that little tug back from Torgan Hazard there. Trying to knock it round the corner of Strie Larsen for De Bruyne. Noga, Højbjerg. An atmosphere to inspire. Jensen. Mela. Højbjerg. Cornelius has the door slammed in his face. And they're appealing for a handball against the big Dane. Skov Olsen and Torgan Hazard, that duel continues.
Well, such a spirited display, isn't it, from Denmark? Belgium getting in the way. Some good challenges in and around the box. Just needs a bit of luck now, Denmark, to fall their way. They're putting the pressure on.
The 89th minute in Copenhagen. Brathwaite. Oh, so nearly that little reverse into Skov Olsen. Mela. Højbjerg at the heart of everything that Denmark have done. Here's Jensen! he gave it the lot.
Gave that a good thump. What a strike this was. Just looked at the options. He thought, OK, I'll take responsibility and have a go. Did you see he cut across the ball? Good strike. Not as accurate as he would have liked, but another chance goes begging.
This extraordinary story. And the crowd here itching for a last page finale to do it justice for Denmark. Belgium have asserted their authority in the second half and produced real, genuine quality. 5 added minutes. Højbjerg. Safe to say, Denmark not out of it, even if they lose here today, but it's a tall order. And skipping past both the front players, Striger Larsen, gone forward along with Cornelius there.
Well, Belgium certainly have shown their class, haven't they, in this second half. As we mentioned before, bringing on Witsel, De Bruyne and Hazard has made a difference. Of course, it's going to world-class players.
Lukaku. Lukaku may not have been able to add to his Belgian record of 4 goals in European Championship history, but he's played an absolutely massive part once again. The drop ball is Simon Kjær, Denmark's captain. Striger Larsen, Cornelius! Oh, Denier right there with him.
Inches away. Striger Larsen wins the ball well from Torgan Hazard. Cornelius got the wrong side of Denier, but can't get to the ball.
De Bruyne. Meunier. Well, the strength off the bench has arguably made all the difference here for Belgium today. Tielemans, Eden Hazard, Meunier, De Bruyne, Lukaku. Just a little give and goes all over the place. De Bruyne thought he was caught, but there's a flag up anyway.
Difference certainly has been in the last third. Quality of the Belgians.
I've just been told Romelu Lukaku has been named the star of the match. And his contribution to that phenomenal second Belgian goal. For Courtois. Mæhle. Can Denmark produce one last hurrah? High foot Torgan Hazard. Yellow card coming out for his raised foot Skov.
Well, once Torgan Hazard allowed the ball to drop, he was always in bother. See it again, then just trying to clear the ball. Skov gets there first, brought down, but more importantly, it's a set piece in a dangerous area. Denmark will pile bodies into the box. They just need a quality delivery.
It's his last contribution. Thomas Vermaelen on now here for Belgium. Just about 1 minute to withstand. And they've got 25,000 to compete with. They've got Schmeichel to compete with. They've got a nation to compete with, frankly. And he goes Schmeichel, out by Lukaku. And Schmeichel is completely stranded here. Belgium, all they've got to do is knock it in. But it's easier said than done.
Skålsson gets back. I think the ball was going wide anyway. Could that be it? Belgium will take their time now, but committed so many bodies forward. The keeper Schmeichel can't get back.
Surely no rush here. Keep it in the corner. Nonier. Witzel's appeared further forward. Denmark have got it. Now or never. Brathwaite. Cornelius racing into the middle. Højbjerg too. It's Brathwaite. And that's it. Well, 2 wins out of 2 for Belgium to see them safely through to the round of 16. A celebration for them, and frankly a celebration of football for Denmark too in so many ways. A hugely emotional night as Denmark certainly did Christian Eriksen proud in their spirit, their heart, their determination, their mentality. But it is job done for Roberto Martinez and his players after Poulsen's wonderfully early strike to almost lift the roof off the stadium. Well, Belgium played their trump cards in the second half. Torgan Hazard, and then a glorious second from Kevin De Bruyne, one of the team goals of the tournament, surely. And it's finished. Denmark 1, Belgium 2.
To be Bitcoin, isn't it complicated?
पता है फुटबॉल इतना पॉपुलर क्यों है? क्योंकि कोई भी खेल सकता है. Buying Bitcoin is as simple.
Seriously?
Yes. All you need is WazirX, India ka Bitcoin exchange.
When you pay your credit card bills on Cred, you earn Cred coins. Use them to claim cashback and rewards. I know this sounds ridiculous.
It's like saying Rahul Dravid has anger issues.
Hey! That doesn't mean you can overtake. Come, man, come. You come. Could have gone straight and taken it.
There you go.
Here's what you said last month.
This will help with the itching.
Can you hear those people behind me? No, mind your own business. Why don't you mind your own business?
कान खोलने का और खोपड़ी के अंदर फिक्स कर लेने का. Acco ऐप पे 0 कमीशन पर कार इंश्योरेंस मिलता है. तब भी तो प्रीमियम जकास होता है. क्या बात है? Download Acco now.
Here's a secret. You can pay your credit card bills on Cred and earn Cred coins. Use them to claim cashback and rewards. Here's another secret. Jackie loves Zumba.
Guys, इस बार कौन जीतेगा?
डिफेंस देखिए इनकी.
अटैक देखिए सामने वाली टीम की.
राहुल, तुम अपना गेम खेलो.
And the refs awarded a free kick in the last minute.
After the Italians, Belgium become the second team to qualify to the knockout stage. The introduction of Kevin De Bruyne made a huge difference. Scratching his head over there, but that is why Mr. Baichung Bhutia mentioned that he is the best in the world. Full-time Denmark 1, Belgium 2. Great teams do this. They absorb all the pressure and manage to get over the line in the company of Terry Phelan, Baichung Bhutia and Robin Singh. Terry, second half, Belgium turned up.
Well, we was always wondering what Denmark could do in the second half. We did mention that. The first half was excellent for them. They put pressure on, Belgium in the midfield. At the back, they didn't allow them to play into that Belgian rhythm. And then they went out the second half, and we knew that there had to be changes. And Baichung hit the nail on the head. There had to be changes coming in. And obviously, the changes was that man De Bruyne coming out, my Manchester City friend coming in and making a wonderful difference in the game, to tell you the truth.
Certainly did. But you see those supporters over there, Baichung, they played their part. It was a hostile atmosphere. And Denmark, do you feel they're rather unlucky to take nothing out of the game?
I think they had a great game today as well. They were unlucky with Finland, as I said. But again, they're not out of this tournament. They have a last game to play against Russia. Belgium will have to do a big favor to them by beating, I think it's Finland. So if that result goes in favor of Belgium beating Finland, then Denmark has got a huge chance. So the destiny is in their own hands. They'll have to beat Russia by maybe just 1-0 or 2-0 margin if Belgium does them a favor.
Robin, so near, yet so far. Denmark with so many chances, almost 20 attempts on goal.
Absolutely. We saw them attack. And, as we mentioned in the beginning of the game, well, and it was the same case today as well. They just couldn't. And then when the likes of De Bruyne and Hazard came on as substitute, they just completely changed the game, setting up one, scoring one himself. I think De Bruyne changed the game for me.
Terry, you see the Denmark coach and Lukaku embracing over there. Lukaku didn't score, but he had an all-round great game. You saw his contributions all over the park.
I mean, listen, the second half, it had to be changed, Martinez had to change something the second half. And it all started, believe it, Belgium's goal all started with Denmark on the attack, and it broke down. Just put it round the corner, it broke down. It goes back into the corner, and the big man himself, Lukaku, holds onto the ball. Strength, power, and then he lays a couple of little 1-2s, back of the net, bang. Before you knew it, that's the quality of playing a number 9. Yep. Who can run channels, who can hold the ball up, who can be a nuisance. But they had to do something the second half. They couldn't play as bad the first half, Belgium.
Yep. There were plenty of chances created in the game, but 3 goals scored. Here are the goals of the match.
Sony Live's broadcast off. Goals of the match is brought to you by Wazir X.
Given away here to Højbjerg, and Poulsen is in! Poulsen scores! What a start for Denmark! Lukaku here for Belgium. The cutback for De Bruyne, and there's the tap-in! Torgan Hazard for Belgium ties it up at 1-1. Wonderful stuff. Wonderful stuff. Eden Hazard. De Bruyne! Well, that was pure class.
Sony Live's broadcast off. Goals of the match is brought to you by Wazir X.
(2-1) in favour of Belgium, but Yussuf Poulsen scored the opener. Baichung, there is a cliche which is like scoring too early. Did Denmark score too early for their liking?
Not at all. I think they had a great start, and you wanted that kind of start, especially when you are playing in front of the home crowd, and especially when you had a bad last game. I think it was a great start. Again, this is a big mistake by Deneer from Belgium. within 2 minutes, giving away in that area is very dangerous. But again, what a finish by Poulsen. It's a great finish. I think they needed that kind of finish in second half as well. They created chances, but they just couldn't finish. Now, if you look at here, a bad pass, and it's a great build-up and a good finish.
Baichung, this is what we're talking about, lack of number 9, because they created so many chances, dearth of strikers. This country, this nation, who created so many chances, just couldn't finish.
Yes, again, if you're a Denmark supporter, you feel frustrated looking at them, because if you look at both their matches, I think both the matches, they've had great openings, they've dominated, they've created chances. If you're playing against a team like Belgium, and obviously I said in the beginning, the defense looks quite not so strong in terms of the team they have, Belgium. And today, I think the Denmark strikers did expose them, but you need somebody to finish those chances, and they did get quite a good opportunities in this match as well.
Roberto Martinez had this man at his disposal. The introduction of Kevin De Bruyne was the turning point of the match.
Sony Lives broadcast off. Turning point of the match is brought to you by Cred.
So here, confirmation of Belgium's change. Kevin De Bruyne replacing Belgium's new centurion in Dries Mertens. Lukaku here for Belgium. The cutback for De Bruyne. And there's the tap-in. Torgan Hazard for Belgium ties it up at 1-1.
Lukaku gets the ball. It gets to De Bruyne. I thought he was going to shoot. Instead, he finds Torgan Hazard is there just to tap it home. Brilliant play between the Belgians.
Sony Lives broadcast off. Turning point of the match is brought to you by Cred.
Great players make things happen, Robin.